Hey everybody, welcome into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We are talking about an incident that happened in Thibodaux in the Lafourche Parish schools. A student was arrested with over a pound of marijuana in his car as it was a big bust that happened over the weekend as the Lafourche Parish Sheriffs used the K-9 unit to do it. Here to talk about it, not to talk specifically about what's going on, but more to talk about safety in school and things like that, is Jarod Martin, of course, the Superintendent of Education. So I know you can't talk about a specific investigation that's still ongoing, Jarod, but let's talk a little bit about safety in school and what you're trying to accomplish, trying to keep our kids safe from those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a long-standing partnership with Lafourche Parish with the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office as a school system, and we're very proud of that partnership. We've got school resource officers on our campuses. In particular, our three high schools all have deputies assigned to those schools. And through that partnership, we're able to properly investigate, identify, and find instances, unfortunately, like this, where someone broke not only our school rules, but the law. And so the use of canines and other means of investigating and looking into who might have these things on campus, we were able to arrive at this really large.
Yeah, yeah, that's something, you're talking about over a pound. It's 527 grams. You have a magazine there. You have to worry about those kind of things too. So yeah, it's never a good thing to have anything like that on campus. And I guess the follow up to this, Jared, would be, countrywide, statewide, in parts of New Orleans now, they're going away from the criminalization of marijuana and more to decriminalization. But that still doesn't make it right on a campus, I would think. And I don't think any of these new laws, even though they're recreational in nature, in Colorado started, and now I think it's probably over 13 or 14 states where it's decriminalized. That still never goes to anyone under the age of 18 or on school campuses, I imagine.
Yeah, of course. And look, and again, I'm not a district attorney or a law enforcement officer, but I can imagine that even in states where it has been decriminalized, having that amount, which is appearing to be prepared for distribution, would not be allowed to be states where it's been decriminalized, because it has to be done, again, not my expertise, but my understanding, in some location where it's an approved activity. This would never be an approved activity on a high school or a middle school campus, because obviously we're dealing with kids, and our job as educators is to protect these children from these very things.
So where we go from here, Jarod, is will they be continued? Or will you ramp up this activity? Or is this part of a ongoing, thing by the sheriff's office to really get in schools more? Or what are we doing with this? Or do you know what the authorities are planning?
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I don't know what the authorities have planned, but I can tell you that we will continue to work very closely with them to make sure that this stuff is not on our campuses. That's our commitment to the community. We don't want to have our kids exposed to this. We don't want to have this on our campuses. And whatever the sheriff believes is the proper course of action to ensure that this doesn't happen again, I'm going to follow.
Yeah, and you guys are getting back into school. We've talked about the success and having you guys back in school, getting ready for testing and doing all those kind of things. I guess this is one of the things you don't like to think about, but have to think about safety in school, particularly in the second half. It always seems like in April, it has some dates there that have to be in front of mind for any kind of superintendent of education. What do you prepare for as you wind down a school year?
Well, we're going to continue to do the things we've done all school year. You're right. As a former school administrator, the months that were most busy for me were always April and May. As kids can sort of be the horse that can see the barn door. Sometimes they don't behave in the way that you would exactly want them to. But by and large, the overwhelming majority of our kids are extremely well behaved. Our educators are true professionals, and I don't have any increased concerns moving forward. This was a very isolated event, and it'll be handled accordingly. And we'll just continue to do those things that we do every day to keep our kids safe.
Yeah, no doubt, and obviously a lot of things have been changed over the last couple of years as far as last 20 years really. I know there's been a lot more diligence as far as school safety, drills, those kind of things. Is that something that's ongoing? Drills and worried about different kind of activities that may happen, whether it be drugs on campus or a gun on campus.
Absolutely. We've got a very in-depth crisis plan. Each school has its own crisis plan, and we've actually invested millions of dollars into ensuring that we've got single point of entry hardened structures that prevent anyone from just walking in off the street on the campuses, to protect from anybody that would cause harm to our students. So we've not only invested millions of dollars, but spent hundreds of hours preparing for any crisis that could happen on a campus to make sure that we keep our kids safe. And I know I keep saying that over and over again, but as a school leader, your primary responsibility, first and foremost, is always student safety.
Right. And that's got to be what keeps you up at night thinking of things like that. So let's end on a good note. So 30 seconds to go and just a few days to go as far as the school year. You're wrapping up, and I think everything seems so positive right now. Do you feel that way going into the final kick?
Listen, I'm glad we've got 30 seconds left, because what I want to say today is the first day since COVID began that we have exactly 0 students that are COVID positive in Lafourche Parish. I think it's a wonderful milestone to be hitting, and we're very glad to now be planning proms, graduations, and all those things that kids look forward to. So big milestone today. Hopefully it stays that way, and we'll be prepared for anything in the future.
Yeah, you're right. Jared, we should have led with that. We buried the lead right there. That's great to hear. Zero COVID. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll be right back with more Body Time after this.